Hey everyone, I'm Katie and I'm on day 6 of Watermelon Island. So that's a 7-day watermelon challenge. In previous videos, I'm sharing a little bit about why I'm doing it, what I'm experiencing along the way, and tomorrow, the very end, I'm going to let you know the whole experience and what I've summarized and what I've learned from it, what I've experienced, what I like, what I don't like, so that you can benefit from my experience. Now, today on day 6, I want to talk about sugar and fat, specifically related to candida, that's yeast overgrowth in the body, cravings, and insulin resistance, people with diabetes or who are prone to getting diabetes. So in the average American diet, the STAD diet, the standard American diet, the average person is getting about 40 to 50% of their calories throughout the day from fats. And that is way more than our bodies are designed to get. It's especially dangerous when we're getting things like saturated fats. Animal fats are particularly very bad for the body. So eating a hamburger or something deep-fat fried, we all know that this isn't the best thing for us to be consuming and it's not contributing to our health. And yet people are doing it all the time. And people also are consuming an overabundance of sugar. So we know about coffee and donuts and cake and ice cream and things like that. Some of them have fat in them, some of them don't. So what is really the bad guy here? Is it the sugar? Because we're told a lot about how sugar can be really bad for you from when you're really little and your parents will tell you sugar will rot your teeth, that type of thing. So when I'm having nothing but watermelon for 7 days, is that too much sugar? So the answer is in the sugar to fat ratio of what is too much sugar. So what happens is when we eat refined sugars, of course, hands down, that's bad for you. We all already know that. But when you're eating fruit sugars, and there's a video that I'll link below, there really is no amount of sugar in fruit that is too much or bad for us. We can't possibly eat too much sugar from fruit to cause ourselves any harm, even those who are diabetic, and that's type 1, type 2 diabetes. It's impossible to consume too much fruit. Now, how can that possibly be? Because if you are diabetic or you're prone to sugar problems, you know how you feel if you have too much sugar, even in fruit. Well, it all has to do with the fat. So think about your cells. Your cells need fuel. Our bodies run on sugar. Our brains run on sugar. Everything throughout our body runs on sugar for fuel. So our cell says, I need fuel. It sends a signal to your brain to eat, and you go and eat. Now, if you're eating something like fruit comes along with fiber. It goes into your bloodstream and is released slowly because of the fiber. So you get exactly how much you need, and it gets into the cell, and the cell does great, it's energized, and goes on to do the tasks that it needs to do. But let's say instead you decided, I need energy, and you drank a milkshake. So along with that processed sugar comes fat. Or let's say we had good healthy fruit, but then you had something that was very fatty along with it. See, even a healthy salad, but with salad dressing poured all over it. All that fat going into your bloodstream, when insulin comes, so how it works is sugar goes into your bloodstream and the only way it can get into the cells is with insulin. We know that. So insulin unlocks your cell and allows the right amount of sugar to go in. But when you have fat, an overabundance of fat in the bloodstream, which takes about 72 hours to dissipate if you've been eating a standard American diet, it's gumming up everything. The insulin can't open up the cells effectively. It might get a few open, but it really can't get a lot open. So your cells go without the fuel that they need, and that's when you get the cravings. So it sends more signals to your brain. I need something now, I am starving. So then you eat something else, but the fat's still there, so only a little bit gets in. So you're having the midnight cravings. You have to go to the fridge and eat something, or that urgent need to have a chocolate bar, or sugar crashes. All of this is because of the insulin. If there's too much insulin in your bloodstream, it's gonna cause a problem. And insulin's only trying to do its job, and it's sending more and more troops to try to do the job, but you've gummed up the works with the fat. It can't do its job effectively. So I'm not anti-fat at all. What you need is the appropriate amount of fat. So About 10% is what is appropriate for most people to run at top efficiency, to have the best standard of health. Now that can vary. If you're dealing with something like candida overgrowth, you may have to be at 5% for a while to get that to settle down until your body has gotten rid of it and can run normally, and then you can go back up to 10%. And that's something that you can experiment with, because your body will tell you right away. If you go on a cleanse, get all the fat out of your bloodstream, remember that 72 hours, don't consume any fat for that amount of time, then start reintroducing it, your body will tell you how much is great and how much is too much. And that comes in so many different forms. That's why it's really great to use a tool like Chronometer to really track it, because you can say, well, I had this fruit or this vegetable, so I didn't have any fat. There is fat and there is protein in fruits and vegetables, and you need to take that into account. So keep track of that. When you have too much, your body will start to get sluggish. You'll feel kind of slow and like you don't have enough energy. You'll get sugar crashes. All those cravings will come back, and that's when you know, oops, I've gone over my ratio that's good for my body personally. The little children, people who are nursing or pregnant, definitely need more fat, so you're going to be up to 20%, maybe even a little bit more. But the 40-50% that America does, come on, we can see that this is just not working. It is not good for us. And that's why I love the book 80-10-10. It lays it out and why most people do best on the 10 ratio. So 80-10-10, 80% of our calories for the day come from carbohydrates, then 10% from fat, and 10% from protein. That works best for the average person across the board. And you can adjust it a little bit depending on your individual needs. Like I said, people are different on different stages of life and if they're dealing with a certain health issue. So that, I hope, explains it for you, why you can't consume too much sugar if you're just getting your sugar from fruits and you're keeping your fat levels low. Now, one other thing I want to say that's important about fat is fat absorbs best when you consume it with greens, like dark leafy greens, because greens have so many great nutrients that are unlocked when you have fat along with it, which is really great because if you have a salad at night, you want to feel satiated from that salad. So you can make your own dressings out of nuts and seeds, mixed in with anything else that you're doing. Little bit of avocado, that'll really help keep you satiated throughout the night. Just that little bit of fat that you need at the end of the day. And again, count it all out. Make sure that you're staying around that 10% or whatever is best for you. And you'd be surprised. Usually, any fat during the day that's over what you can hold in your hand may be too much for you. So that's a good reminder. If all your fat for the day, all your nuts and seeds don't fit into your palm of your hand or are spilling out, you may have had too much. There's no need to eat fat with your sugars, so your fat along with your fruit is not necessary. Your fruit is already going to slowly release into your bloodstream just the way it needs to. Fat combined with greens is ideal. So my exception to that rule is when I'm making smoothies that my kids are enjoying, because they need a higher percentage of fat, and I am putting greens in the smoothie as well. So you've got your fruit, your greens, and I'll put in flax seeds, something like that, to give them appropriate amount of fat throughout the day, because that's not the only time they're getting fat throughout the day, to keep them up to the 20% or more to help them grow healthy. You can come over here. I have some other videos linked below that you're going to really love that'll help nail this down even further for you, explain a little bit more. Lissa's really great, and so is Dr. Greger. And Andrew here, my son, is going to share with us some of his favorite fats that he enjoys. So, what are some of the favorite fats that you enjoy? I'm going to name some of them, and you tell me if you like them or don't like them. Okay?
Okay.
All right. How about chicken?
Yuck.
Yuck. Okay. How about flax seeds? I put those in your smoothies. You like them?
Yum.
Yum? Okay. How about cow milk?
Yuck.
Yuck. Okay. How about peanuts?
Yum.
How about avocado?
What avocado look like?
It's green. It's shaped like this. And then I cut it in half. It has a big seed in it. And it's squishy.
How squishy?
Well, it depends how ripe it is. You see yourself? Do you like avocado?
I would say no.
No. He's not a big fan of avocados, so I stop that. So I have to blend it up and hide it in things like our burritos. Okay, let me think see if I can think of another one. Do you like your cookies?
Yum.
Yum. Yeah, I make those from sunflower butter. He really likes those. So that's all I can think of right now. Well, thank you for sharing with us what your favorites are.
I like egg,
You like what?
oatmeal,
Oatmeal.
pizza,
Pizza. Is pizza a good fat or a bad fat for you?
bad fat.
Bad fat.
Almost.
But we do get you treats of pizza sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Our favorite vegan pizza for him from Blaze Pizza. Okay, no. Remember, that's not polite. Thank you again so much for joining us and for
You're
telling
welcome.
everybody what your favorites are. I appreciate that. I'm proud of you.
You look pretty everywhere on you. You're the best mom than anyone else.
Oh my goodness. And I didn't even pay him to say that. Oh, I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. And you know what? I am so glad that you are my Andrew. I am so blessed to have you. Okay, now we're being awfully too mushy for this video. Okay.
Don't smack me on the back.